2021, I said I wasn't farming drama, but let's talk on Valkyrae for DMing me and saying, would you like to come over and make a cake for my birthday? And I said, yes, I'm in. Please find a picture of a cake you think is pretty. I'll bring everything we need to make it. Also, what flavors of cake do you like? She doesn't reply, to which I say, ma'am. And then in all caps, she says, tomorrow. Hey, what do you want to eat? And they're like, tomorrow. Should we find her a cake, chat? What does Ray like? Let's look for cute. She has that strawberry sweater. Cute strawberry cake. Okay, chat, this is how we design cakes. I quite literally used to do this back when I did wedding cakes. Okay, honestly, look, this is such a Ray cake right here. Wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? That's a Ray cake. Look at that, chat. What if we use this as our inspo, chat? I'll have to go get little heart sprinkles. I feel like Ray would like this. I'm going to send her a picture of it. I want her to have a 2-tier cake because I think 2-tier cakes are better, admittedly. I think they're prettier and cooler and people don't have them very often. So what you do is a little bit of Monica in your life, a little bit of Sandra by your side, a little bit of this is the top tier. Good enough. Looks pretty tall. I actually like tall cakes. I think they're pretty. Let me show you. Let me show you why. All right. Look, you're talking to a cake expert here. All right. Cake expert on the line. How can I help you? Let me tell you why tall cakes are pretty. This is a double barrel cake. There's a perfect example right here. Tall and skinny. But actually, I think a shorter one might be cuter with this design. Now that I'm staring at it. I think shorter actually might be cute with this. What do you guys think? You can vote. Short or tall? I think with this design, yeah, we'll do short. Okay. We go to paint and we go like this. Ta-da, ta-da, da-da-da-da. Yeah, no big deal, guys. I am an MS Paint Pro. Thank you for noticing. What are you thinking of design? I'm thinking we take this. I love when it says happy birthday on it somewhere. Okay, so look at these. This is what we're going for. So see, those are some weird angels. What if we did the base like this, chat? Picture this. But instead we do little strawberries. And then you just do a scalloped buttercream on top. Sorry, this is all just visual. I know it doesn't make much sense with the strawberries. And then little strawberries. I want to figure out how to get the strawberries into the base layer though. I'm trying to combine these two cakes is what I'm doing. We could just go more simple and do like gold leaf. That could be fun. These cakes are really easy. We could just do something like that. Let's make this one, chat. Happy birthday. Okay, this type of cake is really popular right now. Like this. So I might just send her this. Because these cakes are really, really popular right now. Ooh. The like kind of messy, ugly cakes are kind of popular. I mean, we could do another frog cake. I'm not opposed to that. If we do a 2-tier frog cake. Guys, I'm just obsessed with buttercream right now. I kind of am out of practice with buttercream. I kind of want to go to a buttercream class, but I also am fine with buttercream. Sometimes, I'll admit, I'm an asshole one time. Well, okay, number one, never stop learning. Even if you're the master at your trade, sometimes it's fun to go to a class to see. There could be a secret you don't know about. One time I go to this beginner to stacked cake class. And they go through the room and they're like, okay, everyone introduce yourself and talk about your experience with cakes. And I was really overqualified for this class. I was very overqualified for this class. They go around, this girl's like, my name's Martha. I want to make cute cakes for my grandkids' birthdays. I've never really made some cakes before. And you're supposed to like show a picture of one of your cakes, but here's this. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh God, I'm at the end of the line. And, you know, somebody else goes, I've made a few cakes for my friends. But like not that much. Here's a wedding cake I made, and it's like super lopsided and they get to me and I don't know what to say. I say, hi, my name's Blair. I actually have a lot of experience. I just was here to learn some new things. And the person teaching it like doesn't believe me. She's kind of snarky. And she's like, well, share a picture with the class. I'm like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I don't have, I was like, I didn't pull one up on me. I'm so sorry. And she's like, well, how many cakes have you done? We'd love to know your experience. And I was like, oh, a few. And she's like, well, what does a few mean? Over 1,000. She's like, what? She's like, do you work at a bakery? And I was like, I'm a wedding cake designer. And she's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't know. And then I like did the class and I finished before everyone else, and it's cool to learn how like people do stuff though. Like, you know, like everybody does stuff a little differently. Is this story fake, cutie? No, I'll see if I can find. Let me grab some of my old cake pictures. You guys want to see some of my cakes? I've never showed you my cakes. Okay, ready, chat? To see some pretty cakes. Do 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 do. Pretty. Figgy. This one's really blurry, but this one was really pretty. I had to hand paint this all gold. Took forever. What is the triangle fruit on there? Oh, that's a different one. These are figs. There's another one. I love this one. Fondant for design, fondant for eating. All of this is buttercream. I don't use fondant. This is buttercream. You can paint buttercream. A lot of people don't know that. What paint do you use? It's just a luster dust. They actually have better paints now. It's an edible paint. It's an edible paint. It's just luster dust mixed with vodka. This one is pretty. That one's simple. Very pretty. What's the leaking stuff? It's caramel. It's a caramel drip. So you drip caramel down it. It's just pretty. And this one, that one's really pretty. This was inspired after the royal wedding. So I don't know if you guys watched the royal wedding, but the royal wedding did these unfinished edges. And so they're really, really, really popular. And then this one, very fun and pretty. So you can't tell, this picture's not the best, but even the frosting is covered in a luster. So it's like sparkly and shiny and it's really cute. How much does this cake go for? This cake was $400 without the flowers. Flowers are additional. This cake was $200. This cake was $500 something. This cake I did for free. It was for a friend. This was $295. And this bad boy, this was like $6 something. This was $670 something. Ever have any really bad clients? Yes. One of my favorite cakes was one of my least favorite clients, and I can't show you because it's in a magazine. So when it comes to like traditional cakes, Rob Ben Israel is just out of this world. Literally you cannot beat him. All of these are sugar flowers. He is one of the most famous cake artists when it comes to sugar flowers. Like, and he charges $15 a slice. And then all the decorations are on top of that. So these flowers are usually like, this is probably a $20 flower. This is a $10 flower. This is a $5 flower. That's a $30 flour probably when they're sugar flowers. How long do one of those sugar flowers take to make? I actually miss doing wedding cakes because sometimes I do them on stream. And at one point we were making sugar magnolias. Does anyone remember that? This was an old stream. We were making sugar flower magnolias. They were really cute. They were beautiful. Actually, that cake turned out gorgeous. I can't show you pictures of it because it's in a magazine. But it takes about, so like this peony right here takes about a week to make because it has to dry in between each thing, and then you have to go back and dust it. The little buds, the leaves, those probably take about 2 days. These little buds about 2 days. This poppy right here, it might be a ranunculus. That takes probably 2 or 3 days. But yeah, so he's very, very talented. These are very, very pretty, very, very traditional. Now, Jasmine Ray is like super modern. When I was, my last year of making wedding cakes, I got really into this style. So I am warning you, a lot of the, like the juxtaposition here is crazy. Like you will look at, like you're looking at this cake right now and you're going to look at Jasmine Ray's cakes and you'll be like, what the? Her cakes are weird, but they're so cool. Like she is all about just like weird texture and like, let me see. I think her mineral cakes are, oh, they're so cool. Look how cool that cake is. They're just like so unique. That's a freaking cake. They're so cool. Oh, I love them. Trend that was in for a really long time that should have never happened was shared. Okay, do you guys know what a groom's cake is? No. Okay, so they're kind of out of date. So I'll explain to you what a groom's cake is. It still happens today, but they're a little out of date. And usually what they do is they want to do like an homage to their husband. And so they'll do things like this. They'll be like, yeah, 17 epic groom's cake ideas. So let's look at these, and they're so cool. Here's this Harry Potter groom's cake. Here's this Yeti cooler groom's cake with some beers and some fish. Okay. Oh, Saved by the Bell, because my husband loves Saved by the Bells. Oh, college football groom's cake. Hell yeah. Chick-fil-A groom's cake. Here's your moment, husband, in the corner. This is literally in the corner of their wedding. Mathematic groom's cake. Very cool. Oh, the Gators. Rustic groom's cake. They always sit off in a corner somewhere. All of these, you'll notice they're like in this weird ass corner. This is not a groom's cake. This is a gorgeous wedding cake. I actually am down. If you love Reese's Pieces, this is a great wedding cake. That's cute. I've literally made this verbatim. I've made a Captain America groom's cake. UFC groom's cake. Hunting groom's cake. There's just, it goes on. It goes on and on and on. On and on and on groom's cakes, right? Nobody does groom's cakes anymore. If you do it, don't do it. If you're planning a wedding, do not do a groom's cake. It's a waste of money. I promise you. It's so silly. Your husband does not care. Back to my story from the very beginning. So there's this bride that I was talking to, and she wanted to incorporate her groom. Right? So she wanted planes on her cake because her groom was really into planes. I was like, it'd be really pretty if we do monochromatic like this, but then we, we do planes in this white texture. And then we also bring in like flowers. So imagine some fresh flowers and the white texture of the plane, like kind of like, it was a fun way to bring it in. And she's like, oh yeah. Totally. How much will that cost? And it was a pretty big cake. And so I told her, I was like, you're going to be around $500. No, that's way too expensive. All right. She's like, my best friend is going to do the cake. She does cakes. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the best friend can do the cake. I just super recommend we don't have the best friend do the cake, and instead you tell me your budget and we work around that. So she tells me her budget's like $100. If we did something beautiful like this and we had the plain silhouette on the side, that's so pretty. That's gorgeous, right? No, no, no. My best friend's been doing this for years. So I have a wedding drop-off. Mind you, this is summer. This is in some, it was like cabins. It was cabins. So I have a wedding drop-off at this one. So this one is the bigger one and hers was the smaller one. And we were still catering the other one. And so I was like, I'm a nosy Nelly, and I'm gonna check it out every time. I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna pop over here and just see what the cake is. I walk over to the cake display, which is always usually on a round table in the corner, especially at that place. And instead of seeing a 3-tier cake that she dreamed of, I see a flat sheet cake. However, it's not even a squared sheet cake like you'd get from a grocery store. It's straight out of a 9x13 casserole dish where the edges are round. So her friend made it. Now, it was a hot summer day. Something about hot summer days, you cannot use buttercream. You have to use a Swiss meringue buttercream because it has a lower melting point. So it's not going to melt as much. So this frosting is pink and it is melted. It is melted and kind of curdled from being melted. And it is pink and it is not smooth. It is just kind of on there chunky. And then the way she did the plains was with sugar cookies. She got a I can't even make this up. It was the worst cake I've ever seen. She got sugar cookie cutter of a plain and cut it out of sugar cookies and placed the sugar cookies on the cake. I walk in and the bride is distraught. She is distraught. She is staring at this cake and she is crying. I said, I will go to a grocery store for you and I will buy a grocery store cake and I will redecorate the grocery store cake and it'll look better than this. And I will do that out of the kindness of my heart. She says, oh my gosh, please, 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 please do it. I go to the grocery store. I buy just an 8-inch round. And I scrape off the frosting so it looks like a naked cake. I grab a bouquet of flowers. I stick some flowers in it. So then you have something more like, I throw this at her. I say, here you, like, you know, I run to the stores maybe 15 minutes away. I go back. I put it together. I get back. I say, you know, she's almost ready for her wedding. We're like an hour out now. I get back. I say, do you like this? She says, thank you so, so much. She is so grateful. She is so, so grateful. I said, okay, where do you want me to put your other cake? She says, will you put it in the fridge? You know, I'm just trying to help her. I'm just being a nice person. I say, okay. I walk over to the cake. I grab this cake. Her friend comes in that made this cake, gets pissed at me. Why are you touching my cake? I said, hey, I'm a cake designer. Fucking Stacy talked to me at the beginning of her wedding planning and she couldn't get a cake from me. She said she was planning on this. I was working the wedding right in that building right there and decided I'd stop by to say hi to Stacy and saw that the cake was melting. So offered to bring over another. It's not melting. I'm just trying to do what Stacy asked me to do. And she asked me to put this in the fridge. And so if you are uncomfortable with that, let's go talk to Stacy. She says, well, I want my cake out because I worked really hard on it. And I said, what will make you happy? And she's like, I just want a good looking cake. I said, okay, let's keep them both out and we'll just put them in different corners. And you can cut both of them. You can serve both of them. It'll be great. You have 2 cakes. Fine, that's fine, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. I go back over to the other building because there's like a while before the wedding starts. I just want to make sure everything's good. I clean up, I get my stuff because I'm ready to leave. And then I'm like, oh, I left my phone at the other wedding. So let me go back over to the other wedding. I walk over to the other wedding. I don't know what happened in the 20 minutes that I was gone, but suddenly my 8-inch cake was sitting on top of this cake. That decided that it would look good. I don't know if it was Stacy. I don't know if it was the friend. I don't know what happened. But she took my cake off the platter and just plopped it on top. So now you have this little flower cake. Literally, this is nearly identical to what it looked like. Just this little flower cake plopped on top of this pink 9x13 melting things with sugar cookie plains on it. And I just looked at it and I was like, I did what I could.